Hi, I'm Lucy Reimer.
And I'm Kathy Davini.
And we're here with your Bradley Beat. And
so kids are back in school.
They're back in school, and this weekend we are celebrating Sophie's birthday.
What are y'all going to do?
She's just taking a few friends to the lake, and we are going to spend the day at the lake, and then we're going to meet everybody for pizza.
That
later.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, so just a small group of
and
friends.
Cake.
Yes, pizza and cake. I actually realized this morning when I was at the dentist, I was at May and May Dental, my favorite dentist in town.
Nice.
Because I love Kate Kirksey.
Well,
but,
your teeth look perfect.
They're so lovely. She does a great job. But Kate is also a big sponsor of our Music Under the Stars series.
Nice.
May and May has sponsored all of our concerts for the past 2 years, so this will be their third year being a series sponsor. So,
and the name of them is May?
May and May Dental. So anyways, while I was sitting there waiting for my teeth to get cleaned, I realized that I haven't actually made any plans beyond inviting people to come to Sophie's birthday party. I haven't bought a cake. I did order a present.
Did you see the cake Andrew's Publix made for the murder mystery?
I did. That was so funny.
That's what I thought of when you said cake,
Yep.
Because they were so creative and fun.
Yep.
Maybe
well,
they
I'll
can do
probably
something.
be calling Publix when we leave here later today.
I mean, they did such a
to-
cute job. I was really
did.
surprised. They did a bloody handprint on it. It was.
They're so funny. I love the people at Publix, and
Yes.
we love Andrew too. We
Yes.
always have to say thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
for being so wonderful for our community. But anyway, so that's what our weekend is going to be.
So you've got to do cake and figure out the pizza.
Yes, and I have to hope Sophie's birthday
And
present
get gas
comes in.
for the boat.
Get gas for the boat. Figure out where my sunscreen is. I don't know. It's going to be really hot.
It's going to be fun. It'll be fun when you're in the water.
I don't know that
it'll
I'm
be
going to
fun.
stay on the boat. I think we can tie a rope around me and I'll put a life jacket on and the kids can ride me instead of the inner tube. Just keep me in there, just drag me behind the boat.
We went to the lake. We went to the lake last week. I packed up my 3 dogs and my cooler. Off we went. We had the best time. And it wasn't too hot.
It's not too bad once
It
you're
wasn't
actually
too
on the
hot.
water.
And the breeze from the boat.
The breeze from the boat is good, and we've got a pontoon, so it's in the shade.
It's perfect.
And yeah. So it will be good. It will be a fun day celebrating Sophie.
She's so cute.
We've got a lot going on at the museum right now.
Well, tell me.
We've gutted our kitchen.
And
Bye-bye, old
You
kitchen.
didn't want to feel lost, so you decided to do that at home.
At home?
Did you not tell me you were renovating your kitchen? You meant the
the
museum
museum kitchen.
I thought you started a project at home.
No, I started a project at the museum, but the museum was designed with a lovely kitchen that has been working for 25 years, but it does not have a 3-compartment sink, and it didn't have any commercial ovens, so we were limited on what we could do in that space. So what this means for us is that now when you come to the museum and you're at History Happy Hour and you order a drink, no more plastic glasses.
Oh,
We
there's
can
a
have
dishwasher.
glass. Yes.
Woo, that's
Isn't it
gonna be
exciting?
great,
I mean,
'cause
I
I
never
love
thought
real
of these.
glass.
I know. I think everybody loves to have a
And we won't have to
beverage in
rent
a real
them
glass,
anymore.
and we won't have to rent them anymore. And then, of course, we've hired Kim Frank, who's a former owner of Fork and Spoon, to be our director of food, beverage, and events. And we will be getting into some in-house catering services. So we've already got a lot of bookings for that service coming up, and we are looking forward to hopefully getting started with that on the next few weeks.
Well, the museum just keeps growing and growing services and growing opportunities.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, we're not quite there yet, but I'm hoping that actually by this time next week we will be
By holiday
ready.
time.
By holiday time, yes, we're kind of on a deadline. So,
Yeah.
I think we get to meet
'Cause
with
all
the
the
health
parties?
department later this. Well,
The galas?
actually, maybe I've already met with the health department today,
Good.
or maybe yesterday.
Well, good. Mark it off the list.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, we're looking forward to all the good things to come with that. We might get into a lunch service or cafe later on, but right now we're just sticking with some in-house catering, and it's looking great.
Well, I'm hoping that Kim starts doing her international food things.
I think
her
she's planning
international
to.
food dinners.
Yeah, some
which
supper
will be
clubs
fun.
occasionally. We're looking into all of that, and Kim keeps bringing food to work and be like, try this. I made this. Here's some of this, and I'm like, Everything is so good.
Really?
It is phenomenal.
Good.
And it's like she gives me some, she gives Deborah some, like whoever's in the office, she'll give us all some. And we're chatty. We're a chatty group. And then we all start eating and it's just silence. And it's like, and nobody.
That's when you
like,
know it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
That's great.
I have just loved her working there. Now my waistline, maybe not so much, but Kim's food is very good.
Well,
It's
she
very
does
healthy.
some healthy.
Oh,
Yeah.
she does. So I shouldn't say that.
She does healthy
Yeah,
food.
she does very healthy food. We're very
Well, that's
excited about
exciting
that.
to see how that unfolds.
It is. It is. She's got a lot of big plans. She's hired some extra event staff and bartenders, and everything's going to be very consistent, so you know exactly what you get when you come
That's
to the
great.
museum. The few events that have been run since she's been there have just been so wonderful.
That's
just
great.
seamless. Everybody knows what their job is, where they're supposed to be. The caterers know what the decorators are doing and what the band is doing. You know, it's just been a really great process. So we're excited for what's happening in that area. And then, of course, fall time for the museum with our Native American Heritage Month program.
That's gonna
coming
be
up.
big.
It's going to be so big. So I just want to say a special thank you to TVA because they are our main sponsor for both our intertribal powwow that's going to be in December and this exhibit that we have opening about Native American stereotypes in November. I also need to say a huge thank you to Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union and the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce because they too have signed on as sponsors. So we'll be able to do free education programs during the month of November. So if you're a teacher and you're out there listening to this, you want to get on board now and contact us because this includes not only field trips to the museum, but also trunk presentations to your classroom where we come to you. And there's no better way really to do it and take advantage than that because we're kind of at your convenience.
That's just such a great program.
Yeah. But we are starting to book up because, like I said, they are free month of November thanks to Tennessee Valley Federal
And they're
Credit
great
Union.
for the kids because they can touch and feel and learn.
Yep, absolutely. So, anyways, what else is happening around town?
So we've got a lot going on, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow is Cruise In, 12 to 4 in downtown Cleveland. Teddy Bear Picnic, 9 to 12 at the library. Take your teddy bear. Maybe you should do that for part of your birthday celebration.
Maybe we should. Well, we won't be in town, but you know that's put on by Junior Auxiliary of Cleveland. And
That's great. I think it's
I'm
a
a life
fun
member. I have the pleasure of planning Teddy Bear Picnic.
I think it's a
2
great
years in a
event.
row,
I
yeah.
would have loved that when Liza was little.
Oh, it is. It's a special event for our community, and everybody comes away with a free book.
That's really nice. Let's see, Superhero going on at the Bradley Mall, 11 to 1. And the Junior Achievement Big 10th Annual 5K Race to Achieve at Tinsley Park.
Okay.
That starts at 7, and they're teaching financial literacy.
Oh,
So, yay for
wonderful.
them. And then I want to mention something in the future. September 16th is Trek Through Truth's Fall Festival, 11 to 7 at the River Maze in Ocoee.
Yes.
It's their first big festival and kickoff to opening their season.
Yes.
So
that
I
will be
learned about
good.
that at the Main Street event that we
Yep,
went to.
that we went to
Yes.
yesterday. Main Street meetings are always so interesting because you learn so much about what's happening, not just in downtown, but around Cleveland. And I know
Right.
Doug Berry was there talking about all of these
That was amazing.
businesses that are moving into Cleveland.
Great program.
Yes.
I was mentioning that to some people yesterday, and they were all like, what? Because I talked about the new pharmacy packing facility that
From
he told
Kroger's.
us
Gosh,
about.
it's been all over social media. I've
And
seen it from
really?
3 different news sources. Yeah.
And they were saying, why don't we have Kroger? I wish we just had a
Isn't
Kroger,
that wild that we have distribution centers?
but no Kroger.
But no Kroger. I grew up going to Kroger.
I
love
did too.
Kroger.
In Mississippi, that's what the main store was, Kroger.
But you know what? Who needs Kroger when we have Publix?
We have Publix. Well, my friend was saying that she lives out in Flagstone, and there's just nothing anywhere close by.
Yeah.
So she was like, why don't they put a Kroger out here where there's no grocery store? And I
Yeah.
said, because apparently their distribution center is there.
Yeah. But you know, I don't know. I know there's a Kroger in Knoxville.
Dayton. There's one in Dayton.
But there's just not any. I don't think there's any in Chattanooga.
I've never seen
or
one.
Cleveland. So it must be a regional thing.
Well, Publix has it.
But we are happy to have the distribution centers here and all the jobs that come along with it.
Right.
So thank you, Kroger.
Well, speaking of this area, Betsy is coming on to tell us about what's going on with our DAR, the Ocoee Region DAR.
Yeah, we always love talking with Betsy. They have so much going on.
Oh my
and,
gosh, I get their newsletter and you have to have a moment to sit down and go through it because they have so many events and they're such great partners with the
Yes.
museum.
They are, absolutely. Well, we will be right back with Betsy Basset from the Ocoee region of the Daughters of the American Revolution. See you soon.
See you in a minute.
And we're back with Betsy Basset from the Daughters of the American Revolution Ocoee chapter.
Correct.
Well, I guess I got that backwards. Ocoee chapter, TNDAR. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I mess up the introductions every week.
No, you don't. It just reinforces where this DAR is from.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
It just lets you know that it's a local chapter, and we have other chapters in this area as well.
Yeah.
So we will always want to be sure we say Ocoee when we're talking about our chapter.
Absolutely. You know, and I actually did not realize how many chapters you have in this area until y'all were doing the genealogy workshop. And I know you had people that were speaking and participating from some of the other chapters. How many chapters do you have?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I'm not sure. I want to say that I don't know that number.
Yeah.
I know in the state of Tennessee, I want to say there's 60-something. I'm probably
wow.
way off. But that's just within
And
the
they're large.
Yeah,
They're
just
large
within
groups.
the state. And so, don't quote me on that. I'm so glad that I'm saying something that I really don't know the number for sure. But
Yeah, well, DAR is a wonderful support. We have enjoyed our poems so much. I was so appreciative of y'all presenting the Tennessee State poem to the Museum Center at 5 Points. And we'll have it on display there for everyone to enjoy, so thank you for that.
our pleasure. We're glad to share that.
And so y'all got a lot coming up, Betsy. I know, let's see, you've got some scholarships that people can...
We want to be sure that we get that information out because there are some deadlines with the scholarship. So any student that's a senior in high school, the state of Tennessee has scholarships that are available that can be, you don't have to be in the DAR in order to apply, and different areas of study. So some of the scholarships are made available, one is made available specifically to teachers who want to continue their education, get a higher degree. Or something that's kind of exciting to me for the teachers is that it can also be for summer institutes. So with the 250th of our country coming up, I think there will probably be even more things made available to teachers so that they can come back to the classroom and share that. And then to jump back to scholarships for students, any graduating senior can apply for some of our scholarships that we have from the state level as well as from the
So
national
Betsy,
level.
they're applying now for next fall, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we have deadlines that happen in October because we then need to have it into the state by a certain date and that. So you can visit Ocoee Chapter DAR Facebook page, and we have a place that you can message our regent and just ask her, tell her that you're interested in a scholarship, and she'll guide you to help you with the application process. And that sort of thing.
wonderful.
So we're excited to offer scholarships to the students in the area. And we also work in conjunction with the counselors in the schools, give them the information about the scholarships.
Oh, that's
also.
good.
And so I know you mentioned that Tennessee has scholarships, but you also have a national society that has scholarships as well.
Yes, over $100,000 yearly given out in scholarships from the national
Wow.
level as well. And we have a scholarship that at the state level that's given to active military or honorably discharged military for continuing their education as well. So
Great.
we have just different areas. So if you feel like you would benefit from some financial aid as it relates to going further in your education, be sure you look at our websites.
Are these scholarships strictly a financial aid, or are they to help people go towards certain goals of, say, history, or is there a certain field of study that they should be interested in?
There's one that is in particular someone who wants to seek a degree in history. But we have two at the state level that are for open fields, math, science, economics, any area of study. So very diverse in what you can apply for as far as scholarships.
And would these students get back involved later after they receive these scholarships?
As far as with our chapters, I know that when we have presented in the past the scholarships, we've gone to make the person aware that they were chosen for the scholarship. As far as follow-up, I'm not aware of anything.
Oh, okay. So they don't, say, get their degree in history and then come back and do a presentation to the organization on...
No, but that's a great idea.
on, you helped me get my degree. I want to tell you what I'm doing with it.
I think I might have to have a guest speaker at one of our meetings.
Yes, it's like a grant review. You know, you have to do a scholarship review, a follow-up.
I mean, if I put money up for somebody to go to school, I would certainly like to hear that, number one, they finished and they succeeded in something.
That's not a bad idea. Since I'm currently responsible for guest speakers, I might have to look into that.
That would be entertaining, I would think,
It
right?
would be entertaining. It would. Now, I know y'all have got some special programs coming up. There's Palmia National Recognition Day. And what are you doing to recognize that day?
So POW, MIA Recognition Day is a national recognition day. And it's recognized on the third Friday of September. But so this year, Friday is September 15th. So on September 16th, the American Legion Unit 81, Auxiliary Unit 81, and Ocoee Chapter DAR are hosting at Post 81 an event. We have a guest speaker. His name is Larry Cooper, and he's a former guard for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Oh, nice.
So he's going to come in and be our guest speaker and share his story, and he has some...
Now, has he been before? It seemed like I've heard him somewhere before.
Well, I know we had someone who came to our state conference, and I'm not sure, I don't recognize the name as it being the same person, because we know that over the course of the years, there are many men and women who've been able to be the guards to the Tomb of the Unknown
Maybe
Soldier.
that's what I'm thinking of. I remember a guard before. Maybe it was at the museum. Did we have a guard at the museum?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I remember seeing somebody.
It
Maybe
might-
not
and,
that
and we may have
person,
had
but-
one at a chapter meeting,
Okay.
and I know we had one at a state meeting, and I'm not sure if this is the same person that's speaking, but he's bringing some of his scrapbooks, and I understand
Nice.
some memorabilia and things like that
That'll
to
be fun.
share.
I want to think that maybe we did. It was a coffee with a curator, and a gentleman came, and he had been a guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
I remember that.
And he was talking about
And he was very good.
all of that. Yes.
And
He
we
was.
recently
He was.
recognized the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So there was a couple of years ago some things, different activities that we did related to that.
Yeah.
So we're
Nice.
excited that he's coming. And then I don't know if you all are familiar with the Rolling Thunder, but the Rolling Thunder is and I can't speak too intelligently about them, a motorcycle group. And this one is Tennessee 2 out of Chattanooga. And they will come and do the Missing Man table ceremony at the...
Well, that's neat
Yeah,
to get
so-
them involved.
Yeah, and they happily come. And it's a very moving ceremony to see them.
What is the Missing Man ceremony?
So, in recognition of the POWs and the MIAs, the people who didn't come back, and we know the POWs we know have come back, but the people who are still missing in action. So it's a ceremony that if you've never seen it, it gives you goosebumps just
Thinking about it, I can see it.
right? It just honors them and lets you know that you will never be forgotten.
Yeah.
You may not be sitting here at the table with us, but you won't be forgotten. It's very,
Yeah.
very moving. So
That is very moving.
that's happening Saturday. We're starting at 11 at Post 81.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and the public is welcome
Now,
to
where
come.
is Post
Wonderful.
81?
Yeah, you're going to ask me questions. I don't know Cleveland,
But it's in
Paul-
Cleveland.
Paul Huff.
Okay.
And then behind,
Oh, yes, it's kind of like where the Waffle House is. You
Mm-hmm.
turn by the Waffle House, kind of across from Chick-fil-A and Target and all of that. But
Oh.
you would turn,
Okay.
if you're heading towards Georgetown Road, you would turn left, and you just kind of, the road curves around, and the American Legion sits right at the back of it.
Just in case people want to join. Good.
yeah, I don't know what's involved in that, but I can guarantee you if someone showed up and said they wanted to become a member of the American Legion, they could talk to someone there about
Right.
what's
Absolutely.
involved in that.
Yep, and then I know Constitution Week is right after that. The DAR always has so much going on. There is not a lack of historical celebration.
Well, we like to make sure that the community is aware of some of the historic things. So we all
Sure.
know July 4th, 1776, we know
Right.
the Declaration of Independence. But what we get fuzzy with sometimes in our history is, well, we know we have a Constitution, but when did the Constitution come into being? So our founding fathers, a group of 41 men, met together over a 4-month period, really, and worked on what would eventually become the Constitution. And so on September 17th, that is when they voted, 41 men present, 38 signed, that we would move forward with the ratification process of the Constitution. So on that note, September 17th, no matter what day of the week it falls on, is always Constitution Day.
Okay.
And so on Constitution Day, the DAR, during colonial times when people wanted to get the news, they didn't go online. And so a way of sharing the news was to ring bells and bring people together from the bell ringing, and that let people know we need to gather. There's something.
Where did they gather?
So here in Cleveland, well, all across the country, DAR chapters on September 17th will find churches and places that they can ring bells. Lee University has a bell tower. We've asked them to ring the bells. I know St. Therese Catholic Church is where we'll hold our ceremony, but all across the United States, there will be bells ringing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon
love it.
to recognize.
So in the
Constitution.
olden days, when they rang the bell, did they meet at the church or did they meet in the city center? Where did they meet?
Well, wherever that meeting place happened to be, so the bell was probably more of a signal to, meet in the town square. But we know then that churches were the centers of communities as well. So it would just be that everyone would know, okay,
Where
the
to
bell's
go.
ringing.
Yep, let's go to
Let's
town
go-
hall.
Let's
or-
go find out what we need to know and that sort of thing. So that's what we're recreating on the 17th. And so the public is welcome to join us there. Also, bring a lawn chair. If you arrive around 3:30, bring a lawn chair, because we have just a 30-minute program. Just give them a little bit of the history of the Constitution, and then we'll ring bells at 4 o'clock, and then we'll disperse. And, so we're happy to have anyone who would like to come and join us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then I know the last thing that we have to talk about, and it's the one that we're probably most excited about, is the 150th anniversary of Yellowstone National Park, and you will be having a little get-together at the museum to celebrate that. So tell us a little bit about that.
So in an effort to recognize the 150th anniversary of when Yellowstone became a national park, trying to think of ways that are fun and engaging to people. We're going to have a history happy hour, a paint and sip. So if the artist in you, or if you're like me, I'm not really that great at art, but I like getting together with people.
Sure, yes.
So I have a friend who is an artist who's going to come and share and help us paint the Yellowstone waterfall.
Okay.
And then I have another friend who has recently traveled to Yellowstone and is bringing her photographs to share. And so we'll do a short slide presentation with some of the different places in Yellowstone, and then we'll start with a little art lesson, and we'll all hopefully walk out with a
Waterfall. We hope so. And now,
What do you think of when you think of Yellowstone? Do you think of a waterfall?
You know what? It's so interesting.
I don't.
You think of the
don't either.
geyser. You think of the geyser?
Yeah.
No, heck no. I think of the bison.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Everybody's perception might be a little bit different, which can be fun.
So, the geyser, it's kind of interesting because
Old Smoky.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful.
Yes,
Where's
and-
Old Smoky? I don't know where I got that. That's your bear. That was last month. Okay, sorry. Go right ahead.
Song. Gets that on top of Old Smoky, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed.
I remember that. Okay.
So anyway, to get back to Yellowstone, I never gave much thought to Yellowstone and why it's named Yellowstone. But when you look at this picture of this waterfall, you will see the Yellowstone.
Oh.
And it's like, oh.
I didn't
Now
know
we
that.
get it. Okay. Well,
I
that's
didn't
so
either.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I know with the Yellowstone Paint and Sip, there's a limited number of tickets. There's only 15 tickets available.
Oh, 15.
So if you want to get the 10
because-
now,
yeah.
10 now, because a few have been sold. And honestly, I probably should have looked this morning before I came, but I did not.
I did. Which is
Okay, so you did. So there's only 10 of those left. If you want those tickets, you can purchase them on our website at www.museumcenter.org, and you go to our events calendar and just scroll down. You'll see Yellowstone Paint and Sip. So
And as you like to say, if you're a museum member, there's a discount.
there is a discount.
Yes.
If you are a DAR member, there is a
There's a
discount
discount.
as well. So be sure to check that out on our website. That's going to be a really fun night. It's going to be
It
a
sounds
really
like a
night.
fun event.
Yeah, we hope it will be. And of course, I sort of forgot to mention, there'll be just a brief history of Yellowstone becoming a national park.
Yeah.
So I'll be sharing that
Well,
information
wonderful.
too.
Well, thank you so much, Betsy, for coming on
Thank you.
talking with us today, sharing all with us about the DAR. For everyone that's been listening on the radio, we've been here with Betsy Basset from the Ocoee chapter of the Tennessee Daughters of the American Revolution. And she's such a great partner to the museum, and we've really enjoyed learning all about all the history-based events that you have coming up over the next few
I'm
months.
happy to share them, and I'll be happy to come back at any time and let you know what we're doing in the future.
Keep us
Wonderful.
updated. I am a member, and so is my daughter,
Yes.
of the Ocoee chapter. We never get to go to anything, but I love feeling involved through Betsy telling me all of this information.
And we do have a newsletter that we
I
send
love
out to our
looking-
members
yeah,
and
looking at
that sort of thing. And just when we reflect back on the things that we do, we know that we're making a difference.
Absolutely.
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 Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
and visiting us with us today. Everybody, have a great weekend. It's going to be hot, but it's beautiful.
Soon fall.
Yes, soon fall, and we've got so much going on. So we hope you'll come see us at the museum, and otherwise, we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.